why would you just come gloating, happy, you know, that it might be the downfall of a genre? Like, that is some loser behavior.
Angel Knot.
Salutations to the nations. What's good, Angel Knots? It's your boy, Young Sinai. So, today, I just wanted to address something, okay? Apparently, I got some of the facts wrong with the Nintendo patents that are going on. Now, I apologize because I'm not trying to spread misinformation, okay? I read the article to you all, and, you know, one person commented and they said, hey, you know, as an influencer, you need to make sure that you're putting out accurate information. And I said, my bad. Like, I don't think of myself as an influencer. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to say I only have, but I have 800 something subs, which, you know, praise God. Thank you for you all who watch. But, you know, usually when you think of an influencer, I think of someone with, you know, tens of thousands or hundreds or whatever, hundreds of thousands of subs. I didn't even, you know, I don't look at myself like that. I just, so when I read the article, I guess two things may have happened. If I have to, you know, somebody said rage bait. I'm not trying to rage bait you all. I think honestly, two things happen. One, I have ADHD. Okay. So sometimes I'll read an article and I'll be reading it and then my brain might go elsewhere. I'm going to keep it a stack. The second thing, so I might not be the best person to get, you know, your news from. I ain't gonna lie. You feel me? I read it with you all because it's interesting to me, right? But I am not CNN. I am not Fox, okay? So I do make mistakes. So I apologize. I'm not trying to mislead anyone. The second thing I think that may have happened is I think I may have let my disdain for Nintendo overshadow a lot of it, right? So I apologize to you all, you know, just trying to clear it up. Now, what did I get wrong in that article? I don't know. I don't know, but I'm about to find out what I got wrong. This video was made by Gym Leader Ed. Shout outs to him. He is the GOAT when it comes to monster taming videos. Make sure that you all go subscribe to him. But he kind of clears up what's going on with the whole Nintendo and Pokemon and the patent and all of that. So I haven't seen this yet. Let's go ahead and check it out together.
Okay, so a lot of you guys have been asking me to cover this whole situation with regards to Nintendo's patents that recently came out. Basically, in a nutshell, Nintendo basically got patents for summoning creatures and making them fight. But there's a lot more to it than that. And as usual with the internet, sensationalism has sort of taken over. And a lot of people...
And I didn't mean to partake in that. I apologize.
Don't actually know what the patent's about. And the reason I haven't covered it is because it's a 45-page document. I don't have any legal expertise when it comes to patent law, especially in America. I'm Canadian.
I don't either. I'm not Canadian. I'm here in the U.S. and I still don't understand.
But I did want to see if like what other people were saying, and I found this video from Super Derek RPGs that goes into it and gives more context because
so I'm reacting to him reacting. This is like very, very meta.
A lot of people think monster taming is dead, and it's a lot more nuanced than that. And I pretty much, after watching his video, I agree with almost everything he says regarding, like, you know, what the patent actually is and what it means based on what it says, and how it's not the end of monster taming, but it's still pretty much bullshit. So let's dive into it. Let's see what he has to say. His channel will be linked below. Please make sure to subscribe to him, check out the full video for full context, etc., etc., etc.
Have to include some information, but you can't include the whole damn paragraph, right? So I'll cut him some slack here. I don't think that this was necessarily intentionally written to sound like the end of the world.
This is just regarding the whole, like, titling situation with a lot of these articles, right?
So let's just take a look at what happened here. Last week, Nintendo and the Pokemon Company received a US patent on summoning a character and letting it fight another. So if we scroll on down...
So if you just hear it just like that...
I was about to say, I'm gonna let Gym Leader Ed talk, but I was about to say, after reading a title like that, can you really blame me for coming to the conclusion that I did?
So they have a patent on summoning a character and making it fight another character. That sounds like, oh my god, Nintendo has a patent on a summoning mechanic, something that lots of games have. No, there's more to it than that.
We'll see some text, a lot of words, and then some patents that you can actually read through if you'd like. Well, first of all, it's Reddit, so I know that they're not gonna read the patent either. Here's the thing, guys, you don't have to read all of the patent, but if you do, you'll see stuff that reads like radio instructions. This is probably what my grandparents would hear if I were to try to describe to them what a JRPG is. Here's the important part, because the writers of the story actually did the hard work of reading through the patents themselves to see if there was anything here of concern. And there is, but it's not the concern that you think it is, okay? Let's walk through the summary together and figure out
this video deserves way more views. I think his video only has like 7,000 views. So we have like hundreds of thousands of people spewing misinformation about this.
Yeah, shout outs to him. Go sub to him.
Patent. And again, I'm not defending Nintendo because it's still bullshit, but people are like coming to my channel because I'm the monster taming guy and basically saying like, ah, haha, all your games are going to get sued. They all have summoning. And it's like, no, like...
There is the bad, okay? For this patent to apply to anything, it has to meet...
I just want to address that. What losers would be happy to see devs who put their hard work into something like just be destroyed by a bigger company? You know, despite what a lot of people think, monster taming games are not just Pokemon clones or Pokemon ripoffs. There are some. There are some. But it's an entire genre, right? It's like saying any spy game is copying Metal Gear Solid. Just because Metal Gear Solid is the GOAT, okay, and like set a blueprint does not mean that Siphon Filter, that I can't think, insert spy game, I don't know, but like, so why would you just come gloating happy, you know, that it might be the downfall of a genre? Like that is some loser behavior.
All of the conditions here, okay? And
so all of these conditions have to be met. So number one,
some people don't have nothing, my bad. Some people don't have nothing better to do, man. Like they're not creative themselves or anything like that, but they just love to just be haters, man. That's some loser stuff.
One, there must be a PC or console, self-explanatory. Two, you can move a character in a virtual space. 3, you must be able to summon a character. They call it a sub-character, by which they mean it's not the player character, but for example, a little monster, such as a Pokemon that the player character has at disposal. Then the logic branches out with items 4 and 5 being mutually exclusive scenarios before reuniting at 6. 4, this is about summoning the sub-character in a space where there's already another character that it then will, when instructed to do so, fight.
Then Nintendo could potentially sue someone for patent infringement.
If we move forward,
they call it
the alternative scenario is about summoning the sub-character at a position where there's no other character to fight immediately. This final step is about sending the sub-character in a direction and then letting it do an automatic battle to ensue with another character.
Sub-character in this game, Nintendo, for example. So, not in the world with you? Cool.
So if we go over here, then it says, it is not clear whether this needs to be, whether this is even needed if one is previously executed. Step 4, where the sub-character will basically be thrown at another character. So, he's going to get into it, but basically, like, you have to have all these things happening. So you have to send out your Mon. It has to, like, be auto-battling, or it has to be, like, following you around. And again, this is ridiculous that they can...
It's ridiculous that they're even saying the character following you, the monster following you around. Now, wait. See, I didn't play Pokemon Sapphire. Is that Sapphire? I don't know, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been skipping out on a lot of Pokemon games lately because them always be trash. But I was gonna say, like, only one I can think of offhand, and correct me in the comments, like where Pokemon follow you around is like Pokemon Yellow, right? It might be different on the Switch games, But other than like Poke MMO, I can't think of. So the fact that they're saying, you know, the Pokemon can follow you around is pretty crazy, but I'm probably tripping. There's probably Pokemon games that do that. I could very well be wrong.
Patent a game mechanic in general, but like 99% of monster taming games don't have these mechanics. Like I'm seeing people saying like the new Digimon game's gonna get sued. How? The Digimon don't follow you around and then run away and start auto battling for you. Shin Megami Tensei doesn't have anything like that. Dragon Quest doesn't have anything like that. All the indie games we cover, Koromon, Nexomon, none of them have stuff like that. So,
yo, shout outs Koromon, man. I love Koromon. What about you guys? Have y'all ever played Koromon? Let me know in the comments.
People just saying like they own summoning, it's a lot more nuanced than that. Again, this is still stupid, but people need to focus on the right thing.
And then the third, this is about sending the character in a direction and doing auto battles autonomously. What I'm getting from this is that this isn't the carte blanche patent to own summoning a Pokemon or a character like a Pokemon. This is specifically trying to patent the sort of gameplay mechanics of the Pokemon Legends Arceus series or games where you have a character out in the world, you summon a Pokemon, he can hang out with you. If there's a nearby monster, he'll fight it.
But see, that's what's trash about Pokemon Legends Arceus now. I don't know about the new Legends, but you throw out the Pokemon and they'll either just chill with you, just sitting there, or they might, you know, attack a tree or something. They're not following you around. We want them to follow us around.
And you can also just say, hey, you go off in that direction and just do some auto battling. So that's pretty different.
I think that's more like Scarlet and Violet, but
from what everybody else is kind of concerned about at this point. You know, obviously, Shin Megami Tensei does not do anything of the sort. None of the other Pokemon likes that I know do anything of.
That's what I meant, Scarlet and Violet. What did I say earlier? Sapphire? I meant Scarlet and Violet. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
That particular style and variety, unless you include Palworld, who is obviously the target of Nintendo's ire at this point in time.
Exactly.
So, what does this mean for Palworld? Well, they were granted this, and it's that sort of patent that's happened in Japan that's allowed them to harass the developers of Palworld so much in Japan at this point. And so this obviously just gives them more ammo to take that across the pond should they...
They're basically just abusing the patent system in order to bully smaller developers. That's basically what this is.
So desire. So this was accepted without any call for revision or narrowing of the definition at any point by the patent office. So what that means is they have this patent and it goes until like 2043 or something, like 20 years after it was filed, which was initially
for a video game
ago.
Nintendo is trash. Ooh, Nintendo's trash. Ooh, Nintendo's trash. You know who Nintendo reminds me of? Disney. Like the whole reason we got a lot of these, is it copyright or trademark? I can't remember. A lot of reason we got all these stupid laws where some of this stuff doesn't go into public domain till ridiculous time is like Disney wanted to keep Mickey Mouse under wraps and from being taken. You know, it feel like it's one of those type of maneuvers.
For a mechanic
I don't
in
think
a
this is going to
virtual
have an
game.
immediate impact on anybody's ability to make a Monster Trainer game.
Just make better games, Nintendo. Just make better games. Is it that hard? Is it really that hard? They are like, I don't even watch sports, but they are like somebody who's playing basketball and the other team might be playing a little rough or whatever. And they just keep calling, hey ref, it's a foul, ref, are you going to get him? Are you going to take some points off? What are you going to do, ref? Just play better. Man, Nintendo makes me sick. And yes, I'm still going to buy their products. Stop asking me that. I'm not boycotting. I'm just going to complain. The heck?
As we know them today, but what it is going to do is affect other developers' abilities to move the series forward in the way that we've practically been begging Nintendo to do for Pokemon for ages now.
Yeah.
Now Nintendo, now that they've finally done what we've been asking them to do by creating the Arceus games, an open world Pokemon, we'll take that now, that's ours, and nobody else gets to do what we do now. I don't like that at all, and I think it's pretty rich coming from Nintendo, who borrowed heavily from Dragon Quest.
That's what I said on my last video.
Yep, Pokemon, the original Pokemon's inspired by Dragon Quest IV in many ways. A lot of them.
I said that on the last video. Lucky, put in that clip of where I say that on the last video. That Pokemon stole from Dragon Quest.
Monster designs, Shin Megami Tensei, or rather DDS Megami Tensei, predates Pokemon. There's Cosmic Soldier that predates that. Pokemon doesn't own monster taming.
It's like the Bible says, there's nothing new under the sun. Nintendo, you didn't make it. Okay.
And even though the fact that they can't just patent monster taming as a whole, the fact that they can even patent this aspect of it is ridiculous.
Heavily from Shin Megami Tensei.
And then even when you see like other games they're coming out with, right? Like they're always like Pokemon Sun and Moon took a lot of inspiration from Yokai Watch and stuff like that. So Nintendo doesn't have a problem like taking from other franchises, but the second anybody takes from their stuff, they want to make a patent
to make Pokemon in the first place. By the way, Megami Tensei came out in 1987 in Japan. Nintendo was actually pretty late to the party. Maybe not as late as Digimon, say, but still late enough that there's no way that they could really patent what I think a lot of people are afraid of them patenting. Digimon. Nobody else has done anything like that so far, besides maybe Palworld, but that's kind of a moot point because now they cannot do anything like that in the future should they have wanted to. Imagine Shin Megami Tensei 6 may have already been in development, and maybe they were going to have a mechanic where you could have demons that were in your party go off and hang out next to you as you walk around the world, or maybe go do some auto battling without you. Well, now that is no longer a possibility.
Yeah,
Same again with Digimon. You know, if the next Digimon game was going to have a character that you could hang out with you and send him off in a different direction and just kind of asynchronously do some combat, yeah, that's no longer on the table according to this patent. So while summoning a creature is maybe not necessarily a thing that was actually patented by Nintendo, despite the way some people are reacting to it, it's still bad, and you should still not want Nintendo to be engaging in this sort of anti-competitive market practice. They're already
So everybody is being hyperbolic, saying, "Oh, summoning has been patented. All monster taming games are dead." No, but this is stifling the creativity of potential monster taming games in the future.
Anti-consumer things, now they're doing anti-developer things, anti-indie things, and I think that that's really bad for the industry as a whole.
Yes.
Because Nintendo is notorious for weaponizing and being very litigious. They have a long history of leveraging lawsuits.
The fact that the Nintendo ninjas is even a thing, right? The fact that we know that the Nintendo ninjas are their lawyers, that's saying something. We're not when people say that, they're not talking about their great developers or the people who make music for their games. They're talking about their lawyers, right?
And bureaucracy against us, against not just us like me and you, but also other developers and competitors. Now, I don't necessarily think that Pokemon or Nintendo would sue Atlas for making a Shin Megami Tensei that had this sort of feature.
I'm gonna be straight up. They're too much. They're too much of a wuss to do that, because if they started going after Atlas, that means they have to go after Sega. That's a big company, right? Then they're actually going to lose money doing that. If they go after Bandai Namco, that's another big company.
It's like they're only picking fights they know they can win. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're not tough. You're just beating up little kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, go take that energy to Mike Tyson, right? And watch your block get knocked off. No, you want to fight third graders.
Even saying,
not disrespecting these developers, because they're developing games that are way better than Pokemon, but I'm just talking about as far as size, right?
That they necessarily couldn't win. The point is, they don't want to lose money, right? They don't mind going after small indie studios where they can crush, because those indie studios don't have the means to fight back.
Exactly.
But when it comes to going after other big companies, they're not going to say anything.
Mechanic, probably not Bandai Namco either, because, well, let's be real, they have the coffers to actually fight Nintendo in a lawsuit and win and overturn this really terrible patent. So Nintendo is specifically forging this as a weapon to be used against smaller developers.
Yeah.
And that is really shitty. And I think that that is what we should all be really angry about here. Not, oh, look at Nintendo, they think they own summoning and capturing and battling creatures. That's not what's happening here. They are stifling creativity in the industry, and now that Nintendo has finally taken the step toward a more open world style of Pokemon game that allows you to capture and battle creatures out in the real world, they are shutting that door behind them, despite being highly derivative works of their own. And there's nothing wrong with work being derivative, but it is wrong to borrow heavily.
Even like Pokemon Legends and like Pokemon Sword and Shield's Wild Area and stuff looks heavily inspired by Monster Hunter Stories, which came out before Pokemon, the Gen 8 Pokemon games. And like if you look at the Wild Area from Sword and Shield and then look at like how interactions work in the original Monster Hunter Stories, you're going to see a lot of similarities there as well. It's like this whole, like, again, patenting game mechanics is ridiculous, because it's like you're just going to keep...
Because where does it end? You know? Where does it end?
Keep playing a game of like, well, this is like this and this is like this and this is like that. Like, it's gonna get to a point where everybody could just sue each other.
from those who inspire you.
Like, you know what? Pong should just patent having controls in a game, since it's like the first game, and then nobody can make a game anymore.
And
This, if Nintendo started going down this route and other developers started going down this, other studios started going down this route, it would cannibalize the industry.
then try to pull up the ladder once you're already at the top of the game.
Yeah.
Pokemon is a multi-billion-dollar, with a B, multi-billion-dollar IP franchise, okay? They are the big dog. They are the biggest franchise in the world right now.
I said that on my last video too.
And yet, they are using their status not to make better games.
Greed.
So,
Nope.
No, it's not being used towards that ends at all. It is, all right, how do we get rid of the little guys making us look bad?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, I've never played Palworld, so I don't really have a horse in this race, or maybe the more
And the funny thing is,
You never played Palworld? Dude, where you been? What the heck?
like, Palworld plays nothing like Pokemon. I don't even think they have the same player base. Like, Palworld is way more like Arc than Pokemon. Like I enjoyed playing Palworld, but I'm not even that into it because I'm more into like RPGs and stuff. Like, it's a survival game. Like, Pokemon's not losing sales to Palworld.
Do you all think? Let me know. Do you all think that Nintendo would be going this hard at Palworld if the Pals didn't look so much like Pokemon? If so many people were not saying, "Oh, it's Pokemon with guns. It's Pokemon with guns." Do you think that Nintendo will be going at them this hard? Do you think that kind of like sparked everything? Let me know.
Analogies. I don't have a dog in this dogfight. I don't like the fact that Nintendo and Pokemon are no longer focused on trying to innovate or create better products, but rather trying to capture a market by pushing other people down, keeping other people out of their area, and cordoning off the space. Oh, this is mine until 2043. This is not the first time that a gameplay mechanic has been patented. Namco, by the way, patented putting minigames in your loading screens, which is why loading screens were boring and plain for ages. And by the time that patent finally expired, nobody even had loading screens anymore. And by the way, Namco barely ever even used that patent. It's the dumbest thing.
It's ridiculous.
Same with Nintendo. They're probably barely ever going to even use that patent, but what they are going to do is use it as a cudgel, and that sucks. And the way that Nintendo is going at this point, guys, I might still get a Switch 2 at some point.
So that's pretty much the end of the video.
Man, I'm shaking my head so much, man. I might have to use my 10 unit later, man. I'm starting to make my neck hurt. I ain't even lying.
I just want to reiterate, guys, again, monster taming is not dead. We definitely have to deal with Nintendo's BS, and honestly, the monster taming franchise has had to deal with Pokemon in general being like this giant thing that even inadvertently at times would cause monster taming games to suffer because it's a Pokemon clone. This is just like Pokemon. Like I've gone over so many articles in the past on this.
Yeah, like this, you know, gym leader Ed like really educated me, through watching his videos, you know, just pointing out like, yo, these games are not just Pokemon clones, man. Like, stop trying to take shots at these games. Now, them having Mon at the end of their name doesn't help, okay? I will say that.
This channel of like games journalists calling like Shin Megami Tensei a Pokemon clone, Dragon Quest Monsters a Pokemon clone, even though these concepts existed before Pokemon. But this whole patent thing is just an example of like, in gaming, it used to be like you make the best game and that sells. Look at like Mario.
Those were the good old days.
64. Amazing game, so it sells well. Nowadays, it's not about creating the best product. It's about there's a few different things, right? There's hiring psychiatrists and psychologists so you can get the most amount of like dopamine in your games to basically like brainwash people to play and spend more money. That's like the Call of Duty way of doing things. And then
yeah, that's what I was about to say. I can't remember who that guy was. Some CEO, he had basically said that they knew the timing to, if they wanted to charge people to reload their pew pew, they could put in a mechanic to where it charged people to reload because they were most likely during that point of time. It's all just gambling.
Nintendo way of doing
things, or that's how they treat it, you know, and just get you hooked like it is.
Things is, let's just like legally destroy anyone who tries to do anything similar and then, spend the least amount of money to make the most amount of sales with the least amount of effort. Like that's basically what this is. Like, this isn't like a free market of gaming anymore. This is like companies attacking each other and trying to like hoard resources that aren't even resources. They're ideas. They're trying to hoard intellectual resources from each other and just like screw over everyone else because, hey, we got to make money. So yeah, that was basically the video in a nutshell. I am glad that Super Derek RPGs did this video, because even from the second when I saw the patent information, even when I didn't even read it yet, I knew that it wasn't that. I knew they didn't just patent all summoning. I knew there were stipulations behind it, but I needed somebody to sort of break it down and discuss. And
yeah, and I needed somebody to break it down and discuss. So thank both of them for breaking it down so we could discuss.
After watching a lot of videos on this topic, he pretty much said everything I wanted to say. So I just wanted to kind of reiterate that and shout him out. So Monster Taming's fine. The Monster Taming Direct just came out recently. If you're new to the channel, go check that out. 40 new games.
Yeah, make sure y'all check out his Monster Taming Directs. Those be dope, okay? So I appreciate you guys watching. Once again, my bad. I wasn't trying to, mislead you guys, okay? But Nintendo, man, they get on my nerves, man. See, I wish it was so easy to just, hey, stop buying their product. But you don't understand, man. I'm raising kids up to love Nintendo. My son last year had a Super Mario birthday party. My wife asked him, what do you want to do this year? He said, have a Super Mario birthday party. We're like, you just had one last year. He's like, I want to have a Super Mario birthday party. Dude got Super Mario covers, posters on the wall, clock. You know what I'm saying? So, his favorite character is Kirby. Like, it's not that simple, It could be. But, I mean, life with Nintendo is good. It's just like, artists, when they say artists, musicians, can you separate the artist from the art, right? And sometimes that's very hard to do, like in a P. Diddy situation, in a R. Kelly situation, but it's like Nintendo, and their product, I don't know, is easier. It's easier to separate the two, I don't know. Maybe not for everybody. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. Please make sure that you like and subscribe. I'm on my journey to my first 1,000 subs. You can be one of them. Thank you to everybody who has subbed. Please subscribe, because when you subscribe, you can go to the post and you can see how to win a Trim UI brick. Okay. Thanks. God bless and salutations to the nations. Peace.
Angel Knot.